Angel.
Hi everyone.
So nice seeing you once again.
Thank you for having me.
Especially in Philippine pageantry.
Thank
so
you.
why first question, we would like to congratulate you to be part of Miss Philippines Earth 2025 candidate.
Thank you.
But how does it feel
honor.
that you're finally back after a year?
Kanina ko pa sinasabi, it's an overwhelming journey. It's a journey that is filled with so much love, with so much support, especially to all Leiteños and Lapaznoans, and of course to my media friends. Thank you for always supporting me since day one. Thank you po.
But mostly of the pageant fans, of course, they were asking, why made you decide to join in Miss Philippines Earth pageant, especially on the 25th year anniversary?
After nung previous pageant ko po, doon po namin na pagdesisyonan talaga na mag-join ng Miss Philippines Earth. Kasi ever since naman, I've been an advocate talaga towards our environment, and the Miss Philippines Earth is the best platform to advocate for the causes that we truly believe in, especially to my advocacy, in line with the mission and vision of my municipality to be the premier ecotourism destination in the whole province of Leyte. So having an platform like Miss Philippines Earth is the best way to promote my municipality.
Tapos ang supported ng mga taga-Lapaz.
Kaya nga po, pati buong Leiteños, talaga, maraming salamat po, daming duro ka salamat. Ito yung bugos nga pagsuporta ako, tikang pangkatika.
Are you the first candidate na mag-join from La Paz?
Yes, this is the first time that La Paz Leyte graces the stage of a national competition. That's why full support talaga sila.
Ang Angel bilang isang survivor ng Typhoon Yolanda, so ikaw yung makakapag-share ng totoong experience, lesson sa mga katulad ng namin, mga kababayan mo na nakaka-experience ngayon ng ganitong flood sa Metro Manila. So ano yung best advice mo to everyone na like paano yung paghahanda na kailangan sa mga ganitong sitwasyon?
I think yung pinaka-importante maging aware ka talaga at marunong makinig. Kasi ngayon ang dami ng awareness na binibigay, pero tayo ninineglect natin. Hindi natin ina-adapt sa sarili natin. Kahit alam naman natin kung ano yung gagawin. Katulad na nangyari sa amin Super Typhoon Yolanda, madaming binigay sa news, madaming risk reduction preparedness na sinabi para maging aware kami, pero binaliwala namin. Kasi parang sanay naman na kami. Lagi kaming binabagyo. Parang sakto lang naman. Naging kampante kami at hindi kami naghanda. So yun ang nangyari kaya madaming namatay. Thousands of lives were lost. Almost all hopes were gone during the Super Typhoon Yolanda. And ever since then, naging resilient ang buong Leyte because of that.
Do you think being resilient is enough for us Filipinos?
Being resilient and prepared. And prepared and aware. Yun yun.
Okay lang ang short story. Gusto kayo yung Yolanda. Yung kayo mismo sa family niyo, ano yung naging experience na during Yolanda?
Ang nangyari nun, mami, tatlo lang kami. Yung papa ko po kasi naka-assign siya here because he's an engineer as well, working at DPWH. So, tatlo lang kami. Ako, yung mother ko, and then yung younger brother ko. And then, actually, parang normal day lang siya. Kasi before magmalanta yung bagyo, ang araw, maaraw, o mainit. Pero di namin alam na yun na pala yung simula. Yun na yung sign na malakas talaga, sobrang lakas pala talaga ng bagyo. Naaalala ko, maliit pa kasi yung kapatid ko. Nakikita na namin, sabi ko, ay, kasi nag-brown out eh. Sabi ko, ay, light na pala. Di ko alam, wala na pala kami bubong. Nakikita na, wala na talaga yung bubong namin. Totoo, promise. Sabi ko, light na ata. Tapos pagting ko, wala na pala kaming bubong kasi madaling araw siya. Tapos, ang nangyari, sabi ko, paano pag may tubig? Saan tayo pupunta? Kasi first floor lang na yung bahay namin nun eh. Parang bungalow type. So, walang second floor. Di namin alam saan kami pupunta. So, nag-iisip na kami ng mom ko kung saan kami, sabi ko, baka doon na lang tayo sa may CR banda umakyat kasi wala na talaga completely yung Kisame din. Doon na lang kami aakyat para makama-save kami ng kapatid ko. And buti na lang talaga, thank God, yung lugar namin yung di binaha, di nadaanan ng bono. Yung nakakaiyak pa doon kasi yung evacuation centers mismo, kung saan madaming tao, supposedly yun yung safety nila, yun pa yung nasira. Ng bagyo. So after nun, ang daming realizations ko. Yung papa ko pinilit talaga na magpa-deploy here to help and rebuild our community. And that was also my inspiration. Na pag may knowledge ka talaga, may skill ka, may tutulong ka sa komunidad mo. So, yun.
Hindi, paano yung survival ng family mo nun? Siyempre,
Matagal.
right after the typhoon,
Walang
ko nun,
signal, lahat.
tumagal pa ng ilang araw bago malaman ng Metro Manila na sobrang devastated ang Leyte at Tacloban. Ang lakas.
Actually sir, pag pumunta kayo sa city ng Tacloban, sa gilid na lang, may kita mo, mga patayan dyan na.
May mga kakilala ka.
Legit
Yes,
talaga.
may mga teachers ako po, may classmates ako na,
Oh my God.
na nawala. So, at that time parang I was just super blessed and super thankful sa life na binigay sa amin. Kasi if ever talaga na may tubig nun, wala talaga kami. Kasi nagtatago na kami sa ilalim ng lababo namin eh. Yun na lang yung pinaka-safe eh. Parang yun na yung safe haven namin ng me, my mom, and my younger brother. Kasi tatlo lang kami. So, parang doon mo na-appreciate kung ano yung present. And doon mo na-appreciate kung gaano ka-importante pala ang paghahanda.
Ilan taon ka nandun?
13 ata po ako.
Magets ka pa nun.
Kumusta yung nun, yung pagdubit ng typhoon sa inyo nung madaling araw?
Parang nagwi-whistle nga yung ano. Kasi madaling araw siya, so di mo alam. At ang kakatakot pa nun kasi after nun, may mga rumors pa na may tsunami daw, ganito ganyan, may second wave daw. So kami, umakyat na naman kami. Natatakot na kami eh. Kailangan na namin i-prepare yung sarili namin. So umakyat talaga kami ng bundok. Umakyat kami ng bundok. I think it was around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning. Ako, mama ko, tsaka kapatid ko, umakyat kami ng bundok. Muntikan pa kami malaglag sa bangin. Kasi lahat ng tao nagpapanik.
Correct.
Lahat ng tao talaga nagpapanik. Inintay namin until lumitaw na yung araw. Kasi nakakatakot ka doon. Ang dami namin sobra sa bundok na yon na baka possible pa na mag-landslide. Magkaroon ng soil erosion kasi ang dami namin sa taas eh. Tapos umuulan-ulan pa. Sarili lang namin. Tapos yung mga important papers, yun na lang talaga. Kasi pag ganun, iniisip mo na lang buhay mo. Wala nang ibang ano. Buhay na lang.
Hindi, yung food, kumusta yung food ninyo nun?
Ayun, pinaka-blessed kami na bagong stock kami sa grocery store namin. So yung grocery store namin, yun yung pinaka-iniingatan ng buong pamilya kasi yun na yung source of food namin ng whole family. Pati relatives ko, family friends, from all Leyte. Kasi nagraransakan.
So may tindahan ba kayo?
Opo, grocery store. So yun naging source of food namin. Pati kung mga kakilala namin na humihingi ng tulong, yun na yung pinapamigay na namin. So ang hirap talaga, ang dami ko talagang realizations, ang dami kong learnings. Na even up to this day, I always instill it in my heart.
After more than a decade, nakabangon na ang Leyte sa,
Ay,
sa
opo.
tragedy.
Kaya po lagi kong pinapakilala ang Leyte na mainuswagong na probinsya. It's a progressive province.
Of course, alam natin na ang Leyte is a typhoon prone, laging dinadaanan ng panahon. So, aside from taga-disaster yung mga typhoon, ano pang environmental problem ang dapat pagtuunan ng mga official natin?
Another environmental problem, of course, yung solid waste management natin. Kasi ang daming programa at mga proyekto na inaano ng ating gobyerno, pero hindi natin nasa-sustain. Kasi tayo mismo, parang may pagkukulang tayo. Hindi natin bibigay yung responsibility natin as citizen, as human beings, as children of the earth. So it's a collaboration with the projects from our government, from NGOs, and of course us citizens. So it's work hand in hand.
So talking about that, talking about solid waste management, ano sa talaga yung well-built solution for that?
I think it's mas mag-focus tayo sa ating youth. That's why in my municipality, we've been campaigning in different schools. Namimigay kami ng brochures all about RA 9003 or Solid Waste Management Act para maging aware ang kabataan. Actually, right now in our Green Leaders in Action, a training from Miss Philippines Earth, yung project namin with Florida, Tampa, Florida, it's tinawag namin siyang Eco Tindahan. parang basura mo, panalo mo. It's a school-based initiative na gagawa kami ng kiosk na yung students in each plastic or biodegradables na pwede nilang ibigay, mag-earn sila ng eco-points or eco-currency that they can exchange into like school supplies.
Kailan to, be?
It's a project that we've been working on for our culmination here in the Philippines Earth. Yes.
Ang dami ko basura dito.
Pwede nga, ano gusto mo? Toothbrush?
Nasa paligid.
Toothbrush?
Okay. Mabalik naman tayo sa pageantry. So, what is the best lesson that you've learned sa iyong mga previous pageants na sinagyan na pwede mo magamit na ngayon ay sumasali pa?
I think, sir, it's always being grateful with everything. Always being grateful and always looking back where you started. And patuloy na ikamit kung ano yung pangarap mo. Kasi yun yung magiging drive mo eh. You know how to be grateful with the people who supports you, with the people who helped you to be where you are right now. Maging marunong magpasalamat lagi. Lalo na sa Panginoon, sa kung anong blessings na binibigay niya sa iyo. Kasi after all, no matter where you are in life, as long as you know how to put your feet on the ground, to appreciate everyone, you'll go, malayong mararating. Yun talaga.
Kumusta pala yung support ng fellow candidate mo sa Miss Universe Philippines last year? Kumusta yung support nila sa'yo?
Very supportive
Nung nalaman
sila.
nila na join Miss Philippines
Opo,
Earth?
sabi nga nila manunood daw sila. Sila Ate Chris, si Pasmo Bandem, sila Ate Laguna. Maraming salamat to my fellow queens for supporting me in this journey. Even nga si Anita din nagsusupport. Thank you.
Angel, after your featuring your previous pageant, ano yung mga pinagkakamalahan mo before joining Miss Philippines Earth?
Before joining, sir, I went back to work talaga. Alam kong kailangan opo, I'm working in DPWH, Regional Office A. So,
Madam.
hindi naman. Opo, back to work talaga, back to public service ko.
And what's your message pala sa very supportive mom mo na always
Roll PTR.
Message sa very supportive tita and mother.
Of course, nung unang sali ko pa lang po kasi ng pageant, it was Binibining La Paz, Villahedores, the municipality that I am representing right now. Na-attract na po niya talaga. Kasi after nag-post siya ng, may beauty queen, ganito ganyan. Sumunod-sunod na po yung journey ko after noon. And it's also because of the support and love that I'm getting to my mom. So thank you so much, Ma. Feel ko ramdam ng buong earth ang pagmamahal mo sa akin.
The Mother Earth! Woman
The
of
real
the
Mother
Earth!
Earth.
Mother of the Earth!
Thank
Ang
you.
unang kinakabahan kaysa kay Angel.
Ang unang umiiyak.
Ay, wait, medyo lang ako. Kumusta si tita yung sa pag-handle sa inyo during the typhoon? Siyempre, maliliit pa kayo parehas. Kumusta si tita nun?
Inspirasyon ko talaga siya. Alam mo, pag may mga problema, si mama talaga pinakamaasahan yun.
Tita, may problema kami lahat.
Pera po.
And then,
Pero talaga, automatic yung isip niya na ganito, ganyan. Alam niya agad kung ano yung gagawin. Parang nag-ano siya ng risk management. Parang nag-master niya ata yun. Kasi siya yung humahandle din ng businesses natin.
Anong field ng engineering mo?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Nakalagay kasi sa bio mo, you believe that empowering communities through sustainable engineering. Ano ba yung sabihin ng sustainable?
Actually, it relates to my previous advocacies din. I've been an advocate for sustainable tourism. Kasi nga po, in line siya sa mission and vision ng municipality namin. Way back in 2019, when I was still in college, we had this promising ecotourism destination in my municipality called the Calabato Hot Spring. So, Calabato Hot Spring. So, my cold spring doon and then my hot spring because we were near in a volcano. So after po nun, I decided, I encouraged my group na yun yung gawin naming research and thesis to help my municipality.
So college ka pa lang?
Opo, I collaborated with them. So it was an assessment, it was called an assessment of the natural characteristics of Calabato Hot Spring. leading towards an ecotourism destination. So, ayun nga, inassess namin, ginawa namin ng plano. And after that, na-develop po yung Calabato Hot Spring. And even up to this day, naging tourist destination na po talaga siya. But, nung this February lang na nasira siya.
Yung sa mining.
Dahil, nabagyo talaga. Nagkaroon ng soil erosion, nagkaroon ng landslide. So right now, I've been working again with the LGU of La Paz to help them rehabilitate and rebuild the Calabato Hot Spring.